iOS It's Only Sport, Martin Devlin, Lachlan War. The post-match presser has just finished, and joining us, a dear friend. He has been for a couple of decades now, joining us on all kinds of different shows and programs. Frankie Deges out of Argentina. So good to see you again.
It's always a pleasure, mate. Now things face-to-face is a lot uglier, but enjoyable as well, so here we are.
You've been to so many of these, so have I. I'm just fascinated to know, when you get to a press conference, what are you expecting? Like when the All Black coach and the captain walk in, when the players walk in, what are you expecting?
It's tough one, because a press conference, you can't play your full cards, and they're not playing the full cards, so it's a poker game. Tell me about Argentina, they'll just give you the politically correct answers. You want to say, Argentina is definitely the underdog, and what was he going to say? No, they're not the underdogs. We never said we were favourites or whatever, which is the right thing to say. But the All Blacks are overwhelming favourites. They have to acknowledge it, but they can't say it. So it's a poker game, and you deal with it, and then you go and just write whatever you can and work around it, or you just work with words and see how it works.
That's a great answer, because I know that, because of social media and everything these days, there's always a lot of criticism. Oh, why did you ask that? Or you're journalists. You don't ask these questions. But the reality is you can almost prescribe the answers to a lot of this beforehand. But we have to ask this stuff, don't we? Because these are the critics. Look, the All Blacks are the favourites, just like Ireland were the favourites last weekend.
Yeah, but I don't know if the Ireland were the favourites, but the All Blacks against Argentina, they're always the favourites. We won 2, which was probably against the trend and whatever, and it was great. But they're the favourites, and it's easier to acknowledge it and deal with it. But again, it's most of these presses. It's been, I won't say staged, but we're a family. It's important that the guy that isn't in the 23 is felt to be part of the team. We're a family. We're so delighted that the 33 players are available for selections. So I keep saying the same stories, the same answers. Every team are giving the same answers. So,
what they don't want to do, though, they don't want to give any ammunition to the opposition, do they?
No, but I think at this stage, everybody listens to everything. Because, everybody has someone who listens, who tells, and whatever, but do you need any ammunition? You're playing in a semi-final. What else do you need? That's a big thing. You can say that Michael Cheika is the worst coach in the world, and it wouldn't change anything, because the team is going to be hyped up anyway. So I'm not saying they didn't give frank answers. Some of the answers were very good. A lot meatier than probably what Argentina has been delivering. But again, maybe we always want a bit more. Let's face it. As journalists, you always want a bit more, and you always want exclusive access, and you always want something different. It's what our gig is.
This is Argentina in a World Cup semi-final. Did you think at the beginning of the tournament, especially after that game against England, where they were down to 14 men, and you just didn't play well that day, did you think that you would be in this position?
No.
Thank you for being honest.
Yeah, I'll give you the right answer. We're a family. And it wasn't that easy. Samoa came within 6 points in the final 10 minutes. Japan put us into a lot of trouble. Chile was a different kettle, and even against Wales, we didn't start well. So it wasn't that clear cut. Now they're here. They deserve to be here. Yeah, probably. Were they a candidate to be in the semi-finals? Yes. But the way they started, it was very hard to be positive after that. And they had 13 days for the second game, which didn't help, because we're always we're in the same mud, trying to get out of it, talking about what went wrong, how we're going to get it right, etc., etc.
Realistic chances against the All Blacks are what? And what do you have to do to be in this game with even, say, 20 minutes to go and give yourselves a good chance?
Breakdown, physicality, which is what they're expecting. I think Argentina owes themselves one full game. They haven't had it. It's now. It's now or never. Basically, it's now or never. Argentina have never gone beyond semi-finals. Is this a team to make it? I wouldn't have said. But they're here. It's 80 minutes, and they already know how it feels. They were talking about an awful Monday. They already know how good the Monday is when you beat the All Blacks. So I guess that's the biggest draw card at the moment for them, because the game, we haven't seen it yet. And I asked about the scrum half. I have my doubts about the scrum half, and I'm actually having my doubts about Aaron, if he knew who I was talking about, because he's been very good in just passing, but he hasn't done anything outside of the box. So he can kick and he can pass. He hasn't. I don't think he's broken clear in the whole. I think he played 4 games. So
Aaron called him a great player. Said that he makes brilliant runs. He was sniping. All of it. So do you agree with that one change that Michael Cheika has made?
No. I mean, if you change the scrum half, you change him for good. If you change him in a big game, because what is the mindset of the guy that got dropped for the quarterfinals? Am I good enough? I mean, you start doubting yourself, and now you're back in the semis. And what do you do for the other guy as well? So, but I'm not a coach. I don't have the deep analysis these guys have. They go really deep and they know everything about everybody. So it's our naked eye against their thousands of video analysis.
Frankie Deges is sitting here with us. It's such a pleasure. A couple more questions. I'll let you go because I know you're very busy and you're very in demand as well. Okay, Michael Cheika as a coach. Do you like him as your coach?
Pass. I'll pass. No, he's been good. I mean, he's been responsible for the first win in Sydney, even though he was assistant coach. He was responsible for the second win. But, I mean, the most consistent thing of the Pumas was their inconsistency.
Final question then is, you won the Football World Cup last year, and we saw the scenes in Argentina afterwards, the millions of people, the people jumping off the bridges with the buses and things. How do you compare that?
That was one guy.
There was one guy? Well, I saw it a million times, and if that's
probably,
the case. Yeah. How do you compare this, or can you compare it, or what would it mean? No, you can't? Okay,
no, you
explain
can't
that to us.
No, you can't compare soccer. Soccer is 45 million people just dying for Argentina to be successful. Rugby is still a small sport. It's a big sport, but soccer is so big that nothing compares to soccer. It's going to be big, but there won't be anyone celebrating in the obelisk, which is the central focal point of Buenos Aires.
What's going to happen in this game then?
The All Blacks will win by 15. Hopefully I'm wrong.
Devlin.
What do you want? We want information. Information. You won't get it.
The platform.